Welcome back. Kyle Busch taking the win in Indianapolis today, but only good enough to get him into 5th in the Sprint Cup Series standings. Kevin Harvick currently holds the top spot in that. At the local level, here is Steve Wronkowicz and CJ Perry with your weekly racing recap.
I'm CJ Perry alongside Steve Wronkowicz, and tonight, Steve, we focus on the Stan Yee Memorial 150. So much can happen in a 150-lap race, as we saw tonight.
Absolutely. You start 24 of some of the best outlaw late models anywhere, and you know that the fireworks are going to fly. It's going to be a great race, and that's exactly what we had.
No doubt about that. Let's take a look at the highlights of the Stan Yee Memorial 150. So much can change in the course of 150 laps, and we know you kind of chunk it out in thirds. The first 50 laps went by without a hitch, and if you're Justin Schroeder, you thought you were sitting pretty. Who knew that by the end of the night, he'd be on the inside of the track throwing his helmet at Craig Everidge?
Yeah, he was not happy. He and Everidge got together in turn number 1, and when all was said and done, Everidge comes back around the racetrack, and he got a piece of equipment thrown at him, and a little bit of displeasure shown as well.
Brian Bergacker, who put on such a show last year, finishing in the top 3. Boy, we thought this was his race then. He claimed it. He was racing a flawless race. He was so fast. Scott Hance didn't have anything for him. But before you know it, Bergacker's on the infield as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of attrition, a lot of very good race cars that ended up sitting on the infield of this race, just watching the finish, and what a good finish it was.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You had Steve Needles on the infield. You had Frank Giovanni on the infield. Justin Schroeder on the infield. If you're Dakota Carlson, your car comes in at the right time. If you're Scott Hance, your car starts to fade at the wrong time. That intersection is where Dakota Carlson really took control of this race.
We thought Scott Hance was going to be the guy who was going to be able to run away with this thing. Like you said, it was the top side of the racetrack. All of a sudden comes in for Dakota Carlson. He was really fast up there. Scott Hance not so fast on the bottom side. Carlson just got around him. Once he did, there was nobody was going to catch Carlson.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Jimmy Thiel had a good run but couldn't catch him. Scott Hance faded at the wrong time. So there you go. Dakota Carlson is in fact your winner for the 2016 edition of the Stan Yee Memorial 150. So there you go, Steve. Dakota Carlson, what a fantastic way to end this race, to put a cap on a race that had a lot of drama in it.
Had a lot of drama. Just when you thought you knew who was going to win this race, all of a sudden they found their way into the infield. It was the next guy up. He wasn't going to win either. It took about 3 or 4. Finally, it was Dakota Carlson using the top line of the racetrack to get the win.
All right, for Steve Wronkowicz, I'm CJ Perry. There is your weekly racing recap.
And thanks, guys. Nothing quite as exciting as seeing those revved up engines out there on the track. Good stuff. We'll check in with them on the Monday night at the races as well.